This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Prakriti Kakar and Amaal Mallik here. What's up, you guys? How you
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
It's such a lovely song and it takes you back to Roy and Suraj Dubai.
Yeah.
That's what everybody must be saying to you, right?
They do, and I like it. If they're comparing it to that song, then it's a big thing for me.
And it's really a cool song. And how fast can you say Sonu ke Tweety ki Sweety?
You can't say it for
Tweety
sure.
तो है ही नहीं. Tweety नहीं.
one second,
सोनू
no,
के
no.
टीटू.
Sonu
K-T2.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
This is where I was going wrong. Same car. It's
come on.
K-T.
So do a fast one for me. Let's see if you can do it.
सोनू के टीटू की स्वीटी, सोनू के टीटू की स्वीटी, सोनू के टीटू की स्वीटी, सोनू
Nice,
के
bro.
टीटू की
That's
स्वीटी.
nice. What about you?
Practiced and come.
What about you?
Sonu ke Titu ki sweetie, Sonu ke Titu ki sweetie, Sony.
Sony.
Sony haven't.
Sony.
And Titu haven't.
Is this the second time you guys are working together after Azhar? Or have you done some work in
For
between?
the third time actually.
We
Third
worked
time.
on a song together from the movie Noor. It's called Hai Zaruri.
Yeah, of course. I love that one.
That's a really different song from this one. So, first two songs, I think we did something which was really that emotional,
I think both were like
soulful
breakup
songs.
songs.
Yeah. And so I felt, that a third collaboration should be a little different genre, and I think she's done a great job.
And also, Kumar is a long-time collaborator of yours, man. I
Yeah.
mean, the amount of stuff you guys have churned out together. So, it must be like home for you to get into a studio with him and... put out his lyrics.
2014 is when I could get a hold of him. I was chasing him since 2011-12 when I was, just having dreams.
Now,
of becoming-
while people are chasing you now,
becoming a
back in the
composer.
days when you were chasing people.
So I just caught him and I told him one day, just write little bit for me. Even if you write one line, maybe, I'll get the song approved. And from Suraj Dubai, Soch Na Sake, then Kar Gayi Chol, Saw Asman, even Tere Bin Nahi Lage Jiya, Saiya Superstar. Our team has really given some really cool songs. And I think that he every time helps me do a different song. He's evolving every day and he's helping me too.
So, back in the day, people used to spend days rehearsing. These days, it's about like get into the studio, bang it out, spend about 2 or 3 hours and this and that. So, how long does it take you? I mean, considering that you guys know each other, your buddies and things like that. So, how long did it take you to finish Subah Subah from beginning to
It
end?
really depends. Amal's a perfectionist, I think when he makes a song, he pretty much already knows how it should sound, and then he makes his singers do that. But at the same time, he gives you enough independence, So it's a good balance to work with him, and because we're such great friends, it's always easier to work with him. But I think this song we dubbed, and then somehow we both felt we could give it another shot because the reason that Arijit's on it.
Yeah.
So I think whoever
wanna get it
comes
right.
on the song has to kind of I wouldn't say sound at par with him, but just has to do a justified job.
It's very important for both the voices to sound like both the characters are having a conversation. If it feels like he's talking and the reply, the emotion is not the same, तो ऐसा लगता है कि though they're not for the same song. The soul of the voices have to sound one.
And
When I
plus
hear that,
it's-
I know it.
It's always recorded differently. Like when I heard the song, he was already on it, and it was he'd sung the whole song. So when he told me I was supposed to come in just the verse, I was like, why? Because it sounded so good in his voice. But then we gave it a shot. It sounded good, and now I think it's been getting a lot of love.
And since Arijit
everywhere.
doesn't do radio interviews,
Yeah.
you can sing his portion. I'm just joking.
But he's always ready to. He's like, I'll send you. Bite bhej.
It's probably a wrong question to ask you, bro, when you're sitting with the female singers in this particular song. But you use Palak a lot, don't you? I mean, there are lots of Amal and Palak collaborations. So does that mean she's one of your favorite singers?
I think I don't have a favorite, but I've worked a lot with Neeti Mohan and Palak, but it's always been on the song. Like I thought Kaun Tujhe, what she delivered was impeccable. I couldn't think of another voice.
Yeah,
And there were
MS Dhoni you're talking about. Yeah, what a song.
I think that really her approach to the song was all that the song needed. I only choose it if they all sit in the song really right. Saw Asman when Neeti sang for me, or Tumhe Apna Banane, which I remade. Their vocals just sat there. I didn't really decide कि I'll work a lot with them. It just happened that those songs also reached out. Hua Aaj Pehli Baar with Palak and Kaun Tujhe. But I've also worked with Shreya Ghoshal, Ashik
of
Surrender
course,
Hua.
yeah.
I've not got a chance to work with Sunidhi yet, but I'm always searching for that voice for the song. So it's not really that I work with a particular singer.
So now I hope you don't go and ask him saying, why don't you use me more often? That is not the cue to ask that. This is a problem which is common to siblings, because you have a siblings in the business and you have a sibling in the business and I have a sibling in my own business. You know what happens more often than not is that you either discuss a lot of music or sometimes you just say, you know, get out of the room while I do my part, you know. And it happens with Siddharth and me a lot. Or you're discussing the business. So is that the same for you guys? I just wanted to know. So how does it work when Akriti and yourself or your twin sister and yourself are collaborating? I mean, are you always on the same page, taking and giving advice?
I mean, collaborating, not so much. In fact, I was just sitting with a friend recently and he told me, you know, you and Sukriti have never been on the same track. And that's not something we decide because we sing.
Except when you do your mashups. Except when you do our
mashups. So which is why I think now we're going to be collaborating really soon on our own song. But having said that, I think three of us, me, Akriti and Sukriti, are so thick. Every time I think any of us record any scratches or make a new tune, I think we're the first ones to critique it and we'll be the first ones to say that, you know, it's shit, you should get rid of it. Or that, oh my god, I can't do what you've just done, like that's crazy.
So does happen, does Arman say, get out of the room while I sing this one? Or you say
all the time, but the problem is the one he's singing is my song, so I can't get it. So at that,
you put the scratch vocals on and you know, then he wants to do his own thing. I mean, you asked to leave for some time.
I let him be for half an hour, 1 hour, do his thing. Then I come and most of it gets deleted. He gets damn pissed. He calls my dad. He's like, "Meko nahi karna. I don't want to record with this guy. He's a mad composer." Anything like.
So dad and mom have to play like, okay, come on.
Yeah. No. Then I snatched the phone. I said, "You stay out of this. This is my song. I will record the way I want." And see, we're all each other sounding board. And I think at home, though, just the way she said, if I make a tune, he's hearing it, dad's hearing it. Sometimes it happens. They say this is not good. This is not going to work. And sometimes that song works. Sometimes they say this is going to be really big. This is going to kill it. Doesn't work. So it's always, but we're really there to tell each other this is nice or this is not nice. I think when that happens at home, I always keep my friends and my brother, dad, all of them close to hear my music, and then I take it to the producers because I just want to see what these people who I've grown up with or who listen to non-Bollywood stuff, how do they react? You know, because my friends, I've got 80% of friends who listen to music which are not even top charts UK. They're listening to the not famous ones. You know,
like the bubbling under ones, like the alternative sounds.
They're playing me, and you know, I've got this young producer who assists me, and he is 17 now, and the kind of music he's listening to, and it's almost a decade difference for me. But I keep hearing that, I keep learning from these guys, and I want to see how they react to my songs. So if they like they really liked Subah Subah, so I was like, maybe, you know, that age and someone who's around my age and elder people, they're connecting to all the songs. So it's important to have that in your family.
In that aspect, Prakriti, what's happening world over is that, you know, the concept of a music producer has really come into the fray. Like if you see, there's a Selena Gomez collaboration with Marshmello, predominantly an EDM producer. So all these guys are getting into mainstream music production collaboration, and that's what I love about you guys. I mean, you're basically a music producer. I mean, you're a music director. That's fine. From
that's Bollywood term.
Yes, a little Indian.
Yes, but I put it all together.
Yeah, you put it all together. You're basically a music producer.
So because that's the job.
Right? He knew how his song needed to sound. So that's him.
In here, in this industry, there's like programmers and producers, individual, and like every song of mine has almost 2-3 producers along with me. But the final production, what's going out, how the bass, the kick, the string section, that I sit and do myself. So it's like 3 minds, but towards the end, everything, how much to keep, how much not to keep is what I do. So obviously that makes me a music producer.
And you've also just come out of a collab with the Meet Brothers.
Yes, I have. So that is something that we've already done an interview with your brother, which is a really cool one. But the song's called
Did you manage to speak with those 3 guys in the room?
Yeah, I really tried. I was like, can I?
Because they're, as it is, they're best buddies. They're always hanging out together.
No, it was more of just taking a lot of each other's case. And
you should have just switched off their mics or something like that.
I'm like, I'm a little out of place here. And they thought, they were just treating me like this 18-year-old, which I'm not. But a lot of content was too adult for me, they thought. But that was fun.
And you know that none of that makes it to the radio show in any case.
But वो Facebook Live था. So people saw it anyway.
Yeah, people saw it. That is so funny.
But this song is like again, my collaboration with the Meet Bros, I think I pretty much started singing in the industry for them. One of my first few recordings happened in their studio for the film Boss alongside Yo-Yo Honey Singh. I sang a very little part in that song, and after so many years, you know, I got to be with them on a song like Yari Ve, which is not a very typical sort of a love song. It's a very cool new age love song.
And they go to some exotic location and shoot, and they don't even take you.
They didn't take me at all. Like I didn't even know it was being shot. Like I think we met on a show and he's like, we shot the song. I'm like, which song? The one you sang. And I'm like, which one? Then they told me the song. Then they sang and I'm like, oh, that song. You shot it. You never called me. But Lauren's in the video. She looks really hot. and the video's been getting a lot of love actually. It's about 10-15 million now, so it's doing.
Speaking of love, I quite like the director of this movie, dude. He's quite a cool guy. The love guy.
He's awesome.
Like, he didn't come in this time because he was too busy on edit. But the previous two Panchnamas, he was in, and he's quite a.
He's a laugh.
You know, he's a Delhi meets Bombay kind of very peculiar kind of guy. You know? So how are like sittings with him? I don't think sittings happen anymore. But you know, his brief to you. How did that go?
I still try to keep it that way. I still do sittings.
Good.
Like they may not be like as elaborate as when my uncle or dad used to, do it on Jatin Lalit. That era had dholak, tabla, harmonium, everyone, and performing a song to get it approved. Now it's more like you produce a few beats, play a few chords, sing a scratch, and then they understand the vibe. With him, he was very clear. He asked me to. This is a genre that has been mine since Suraj Dubai, and EDM is something that I started out with in Bollywood with that song. And he told me, I want the melody line to not be like a very simple this, that, like a no-see rhyme. It should be more flowy, more something which even without the EDM arrangement, the tropical arrangement, none of that should just sound beautiful on a guitar and a piano. And that's what was the first effort. And with simple lyrics, which Kumar is really good at. So he let me be me, I like working with people who let me find me again. They don't come with the exact reference. It's incidental because at Vibe or Suraj Dubai, it's also there in other songs of mine like So Asman or a Buddhu Saman. It's there. It's that soundscape. But the melody line, the lyric, the singers, all are different. And he just was this crazy, how you said the Delhi guy, he came to me, he's like, Dekho bhai, like this. Tum please reference mat mango. He was just as direct. He's like, I don't have references. He's like, I need you to just go back, do what you would do on this situation. Just hear 5 lines of this particular area where I need the song and just go back, react and call me. And this is what happened. That's how Subah Subah happened.
And to his credit, the last song like this that I saw picturized, with this whole travel vibe and things like that in a car was, I think Bachna has, Vishal Shekhar had done the soundtrack to that, and I think they did a great job.
Is this the Lucky Ali one?
Yeah, man. Oh, wow. Yeah, Aista.
I love that song.
I mean, yours is a lot more modern, and it's got a lot more elements.
But
in it.
for that time, that was incredibly.
That was incredibly cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So awesome, man. So I remember Arman telling me that he is trained in Hindustani classical.
Yeah.
So does that mean that you also put through the same training, or what, were you like out of that?
I was more towards playing the keys, and I was more of the computer geek kid, and I always wanted to start using devices and stuff like that.
You still play the keyboards? Yeah, you do.
So I went more towards learning the piano. I did Trinity College of London, and
this is like the exchange program there.
Yes,
where the instructor comes here and things like that.
They came here, and I did like year training and theory, reading and writing most of the stuff. So I finished that, but when I was about to get done, I started at about 7 or 8 playing the piano. And till 16, about when I was finishing my 10th grade, I was like, let's get this also done, because I wanted to change. From then on, jazz came in, rock. I was more towards the Western music culture. But I always had this background because sittings used to happen at home. It was always at the back of my mind. So formal Hindustani training never happened. That naturally happened for me with my grandfather, because it can be said like a blessing, because my dad made it a little later in life than my uncle. So we got more years to stay with my grandparents. We all stayed in a house together. And till the age of 15, I got to see Sardar Malik Saab play jazz chords and sing Hindustani rags. Used to do that kind of stuff. For me, it was a natural learning of Hindustani music like that. Arman has done his Visharad, but I did more Trinity and rock school.
Wow. So you're saying just like your granddad used to take out the harmonium and bang it out for producers or directors who came, and you do that with your keyboards now.
Yeah.
So
it's just the instrument that's changed.
And your house must have been full of music, yeah?
It is actually. Initially, mom never wanted 3 of her daughters to kind of do the same thing. We shifted to Bombay because of my elder sister, because she wanted to be a singer and you couldn't possibly do that staying in Delhi. So I came here for a vacation and I never went back. And I got tricked. And then, I mean, obviously I've seen my sister literally struggle. I remember her coming here without knowing anybody, like nobody. And then she made it, and I've seen her struggle. I have seen the highest and the lowest. And I think naturally it also came to the both of us, because our mom is a music teacher. So I think it's always been in the family every time, like even when we had like just family over, everything just ends up in music at the end of the day. And for the longest time I thought I'm going to probably do something else, but I tried doing everything else and the only thing pulled me back was music. And I started singing English songs. I think Western music just came in more naturally. I used to sing just that, and when my mom saw me taking that really seriously, and when I told her I wanted to be a singer, that's when she told me that you need to have a classical base, there's nothing without that in Bollywood. So then I got trained for about 6-7 years. Then I started listening to a lot of people, actually, a lot of singers, and just trying to sing like them. I think that's probably the best kind of training.
I have to say, I'm nothing against all your film work, but I love your mashup work. I mean, I heard one which had John Legend.
All of Me and Sansar.
Yeah.
You heard that?
And then I heard another one which had the 50 Shades of Grey song with the Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan song. So I'm a massive fan of those mashups that you guys do.
I'm so
have you caught their
happy.
mashups? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really cool, man. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Here's this song. Here's it doing all the chart magic that it can possibly do.
Yeah.
But,
Fingers crossed.
The thing I want to know is that do you still prefer doing the whole album, or are you now saying that I will do this single song, because different people have different opinions. Like for example, Sachin and Jigar are very clear saying that we want to do the whole album.
I think every composer wants to do the whole album. I got my chance in Dhoni and I did an entire score. It depends on how you vibe and how much time the director has. Both these things are really important. Neeraj Pandey was someone who never came from a music background. His films are really hard hitting and score oriented, not songs oriented. So when he also came to me and said that he needs 7 songs, I was also surprised. I was not sure because till then I was doing only one song. So even I was not sure. I was like, but this is the opportunity, and I jumped at it. From there I got Noor. So I did 2 solo films, but somewhere, I balance it out. If I feel, my collaboration can really help me and can put me on a map or create a new connection or a good working relationship with a newer production house, I let go. It just has to be that connect. If I connect to my director and he believes in me, he can actually sit and do the entire album with one guy, and not just me, any composer can do it. It's that time window which I think forces a director and the producer to move away and work with everyone. They don't get the number of dates from their actors. So they have 20 days from an A-lister, and in 20 days they have 4 songs to do. One guy cannot in 20 days give 4 songs. Sometimes it happens also. Like a movie called Azhar, which I did. She sang Tu Hi Na Jaane.
I just mentioned that at the top because that's a collab that I know about. Yeah.
That's because Pritam Da was doing this album and he fell sick and he did one song, which was Itni Si Baat Hai. I did 3 songs in 9 days.
Wow.
In 9 days, from composing, writing, producing, recording. One song was with her and Sonu Nigam sir. Arman sang Bol Do Na Zara, and one KK sang, which was the theme. So it happened then. Sometimes you make something and it just comes out really well. Sometimes you just can't. So I think multi-composers is the trend that is working right now. So, I really would obviously want to do a solo score. It's more fun.
In terms of lyric writers, you ask your uncle and your dad's generation and, they'll hark back to Sahir Saab and Majroor Sultanpuri and things like that. And you have a current crop which is Kumar and Manoj Muntashir and Amitabh Bhattacharya and, of course, Irshad Kamil because he's more Urdu.
There's one writer you missed out who's amazing is Rashmi Virag.
Yeah, of course. Rashmi Virag.
Legend stuff.
Yeah, he's done about 2 or 3 songs with you or more.
Yeah, he's done 3 songs with me. He did Muskurane, Main Rahu, Ya Na Rahu, Bol Do Na Zara, Chal Wahan Jaate, Tere Mere. All like he's also right there.
So, in that aspect, they're a little different from what it was in the past, but I think they get the pulse of now. Yeah. Enjoying working with all of them?
I'm still always looking out for newer people also. I my collaborations with all of them. I've not worked with Amitabh, but that'll be a dream collab. I think if we come together on an album, it'll be really, really kick-ass. But with Virag, I've had really wonderful, long-lasting songs. With Manoj, I've done Dhoni, the entire score with one writer. So, we have a different friendship, a different relationship. And Kumar, I think, is a rebellious writer. He writes against the rules. He goes ahead from what's already happening. He'll stay within the scene, but somewhere he'll give a shade of himself. So they all 3 have different styles and I adapt to their ways of working. So if I'm working with Kumar, it's in a car. If it's Manoj, he's at my studio. If it's Virag, I'm at his house. So we have different places for our music.
I know that, the indie stuff is happening simultaneously along with the film stuff. There's a very interesting unplugged song that I heard. It was that Mithun's composition, Darkhast is Whose?
Darkhast, yeah.
Yeah, Mithun's composition, which is a really nice song, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love the song, and it happened to be a T-Series. So T-Series was trying to do like this property called T-Series Acoustics, where they were getting singers in and making them record renditions of existing songs. So that was just one of those things, and it turned out pretty cool actually, because it's a duet, and to do a female cover of a song that you wish you sang felt really good, and it's loved by a lot of people. Like a lot of people meet me and they love that song. In fact, when I gig also, a lot of people want to hear that song live. So I know the fact that it's reached out.
It's a lovely song.
Yeah, thank you.
So what about the indie stuff, man? I know you did that Ferrari song for Arman, which was
Yeah,
quite
but
cool.
that's not completely my vibe. Like, I just did that because Arman wanted to be this cool guy in a car and like go outside.
You wanted to be
India.
Bieber.
Yeah, so I said, okay, Mr. Bieber, I'll do something like that for you. Let me try. It was just a breakaway. Even his style wasn't my style. It's more what Badshah or Honey Singh produce. But it was fun, I don't get to do that much, trap and hip hop in films. So it was fun to do that. But there's a lot of non-film stuff that I'm working on right now. And, even collaborating with bands like Sky Harbor and these boys from Delhi, Keshav Dhar and all. They were the musicians on Dhoni who did the rock songs. So I'm using a lot of indie musicians for the Hindi songs also. So the sound will change with that.
Super stuff. Come on, sing some for us, yeah?
Subah Subah?
Yeah, please.
So पहले ही लम्हे में है बेकरारी सी आगे क्या होगा नहीं है पता तेरी तरफ जा रहा है मुझे छोड़ के जाने क्यों आज दिल ये मेरा शुरुआतें नहीं है ये बातें नहीं अब रातें गई ऐसा लगा सुबह सुबह तू जो मिला तो मिली है सांसों को हवा सुबह सुबह तू जो मिला तो मिली है सांसों को हवा तू जो मिला तू जो मिला
मर्जी से तेरी मेरी धड़कने अब तो करने लगी है सफर तूने देखा तो जीने की ख्वाहिश जगे जिंदगी जैसी तेरी नजर
तुझसे ही है मेरी दुनिया सारी तुझसे ही तो कर ली है दिल ने यारी तुझसे ही है मेरी दुनिया सारी तुझसे ही तो कर ली है दिल ने यारी तू है तो खुद का है पता
सुबह सुबह तू जो मिला तो मिली है सांसों को हवा
सुबह सुबह तू जो मिला तो मिली है सांसों को हवा तू जो मिला तू जो मिला तू जो मिला
Now, we started a show called People United, India United. So we're basically turning around and saying that till 10 years ago, we never thought of these things. Jaat, Paat, Dharam. People are going against each other based on, they want to ban a particular type of food. They want to ban a movie. People are trolling each other on the internet. There's a lot of hate going on. How can we come together as a community? Do you have any ideas on how we can be united?
See, it's very cliche to say that music unites us, but I think that is the only way because, we have so much inside us as musicians. I think a musician can keep putting music out, which I think heals the soul of many such people who go against, what is right. And I think the only thing that is right is to be a human being, not put all these things. I see my friends, their relationships, everything depends on religion. So many things are going wrong with our country. Even the recent whole movie thing, all those things. It's just that there is no right way of doing it anymore. 10 years back, I think we're just keeping on going back on time. The only easy way out would be that everyone stands together. I think if they see the real people. Like even the news channels are focusing on showing only the negative audience. They're never going to go to societies, go to buildings, see there are kids who are playing with each other. They don't even know what their parents' religion is, their other friends' parents, nothing. It's so real. We are really messing that up. And I think the more we take our cameras from screens where people are throwing, fireballs into buses, instead of that, if you go into a building or any place where real friendship is happening between people of different religions, our country has been known for that. Today we're giving up that and becoming the same way that there was a British rule at a time which divided us. We're back to the same thing. I think the only way is to first the media has to support the right thing. Even they are only showing negativity. There is a lot of positivity. You think this way, I'm thinking this way. I think musicians, celebrities, influencers, everyone need to come together and say that we are not this. So who's this? That's very important.
Lovely. Come on, sing me your mashup.
सुन साथिया माहिया बरसा दे इश्का की स्याहिया रंग जाऊं री हारी मैं तुझ पे यूं छर जाऊं हारी मैं ओ पिया बस तेरी मैं है झूले तो खरी मैं 'cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning, even when I lose and winning.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Prakriti, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Before you go, your BFF, who would that be and why?
That's an easy one. I don't have too many friends. I mean, I can literally count my friends on my fingers, and that's the only way I do it. But my BFF has to be Sukriti, because it's probably because of her that I've never had a BFF all my life. I think it's just so easy and amazing and just so natural to have somebody who not just looks like you, but does the same thing as you, associates with the same people. And I don't think anybody in the world just gets me as much as her. So that's a no-brainer for me. It has to be my twin sister.
What are we doing wrong that we're, there's so much of trolling online that, people are hating each other? Is there something that we can do? Same question that I asked Amaal. Do you have any idea?
In my capacity, I think it would just be, we all use social media in today's time. We all use it. And I think we think that we can be really judgmental. And I think if we stop that attitude, for starters, that's going to make a lot of difference. Bullying somebody is really easy. And I think if everybody consciously just tries to just spread love, positivity, appreciate other people online, I think that'll make a lot of difference. And I think not just commoners, I think just influencers, like he said, celebrities, I think they should just probably start spreading more positivity by just appreciating people's efforts, people's films, people's music. That'll definitely bring a lot of change, and that'll make people want to do just the same. At least the people who look up to those celebrities. I think that's going to make a difference.
Listen, thanks for rolling by. This has been a special interview. Thank you. Amaal, thank you, brother. Lots of love, man. Thank you for rolling by.
Amazing.
Until next time. Cheers.
Coming soon.